Let's start with the prompt here. We're looking for data from the table that completes the statement. And what is the statement? The fungus in soil benefits plants, increasing the mass of some of the plants. A student did an experiment to illustrate this. The student chose 3 plant species, including 2 that are fungal hosts, the ones that are known to benefit from the fungi, and 1 that's not, a species that doesn't benefit and may even be harmed by the fungi. The student then grew several plants from each species in both soil containing the fungi and in soil that had been treated to kill the different types of fungi. After several weeks, the student measured the average mass and was surprised to discover. So that's an important word there. We were surprised to discover. That meant that the data went against the hypothesis. Because the student was surprised to make that discovery. So let's look at the answers. So looking at A, broccoli grown in soil containing the fungi had a slightly higher average mass than broccoli grown in soil that had been treated to kill the fungi. That is actually surprising because broccoli is not a host. So the plant that's not a host should be hurt by the fungi. So why was it higher around the fungi than without it? So that goes against what we thought would happen. So that is some surprise right there. B, corn grown in soil containing the fungi had a higher average mass than broccoli grown in soil containing the fungi. Well, that wouldn't be surprising because the corn is said to be a host, but the broccoli is not. So the corn should be benefiting more. C, marigolds grown in soil containing the fungi had a higher average mass than marigolds grown in soil that had been treated to kill the fungi. Once again, that's not a surprise either because the marigold is a host, whereas the broccoli is not. And C actually says the marigolds grown around the fungus had a higher average mass than the ones that were grown in the other soil. So that's actually not surprising because if it's a host, then it's going to grow more as a result of being around the fungi because it's a host, it's known to be a host of the fungi. Okay, and so that's not surprising, C. And D, corn had the highest average mass of all 3 species in soil that had been treated to kill the fungi, while marigolds had the lowest. Well, we don't really, well, we're only comparing the ones that were grown in the soil that kills the fungi. And it's factually incorrect to say that the marigolds had the lowest. Actually, no, that is factually correct. 1 second there. But yeah, back to my first point. What's going to be the point of comparing only the ones that were all treated in the same soil to each other if we were looking for an effect of one soil versus the other? So this is kind of making an unnecessary comparison. It's not comparing the 2 soils to one another. So the answer that works for us is A.